Hello everyone and welcome back to Icebreaker Gaming. We are going to be playing Gods vs. Horrors, and this should be episode 5 for those keeping track. Unfortunately, we have not been able to best the Arachnomir, but we're going to give it another college try. And I think... Oh, they actually struck out Norse this time. I was in my head I was actually planning we were going to run it back with Norse. I have had luck with Hindu and the Olympians. I did one run off of stream with the Yoruba, and unfortunately it fell just short again. The Arachnomir is proving to be quite difficult. So I believe we're going to go with the Dragon Pearl. I'd like to do a Chinese run. I really liked the mechanics around Spellcast, and I'd like to show them off in a video. Okay, right off the rip, we have a Take Mikazuchi, which the last time I played the Japanese faction was fantastic. I do like Hermes. I think having a taunter early with 4 attack is pretty convenient and actually comes at a pretty decent time being in this first one. So I'm going to go ahead and grab our Hermes. We're going to roll once. Fantastic. We're looking for a Yue Lao. Excellent. Pretty much anytime we see spellcast triggers, we need to take them. And I think for now, we're going to move Yue Lao to the front, give him a chance to get the spell cast off with the extra health that he's going to get from Erinle, and then Hermes will soak the first attack, probably the first 2. So, let's get in. Looking good already. It's this is actually ideal. Getting our 3 Yue Lao to upgrade already. And Gong Gong is fantastic. Always good. We'll pass on the Greedling. Dionysus is definitely good. I'm not too worried about ascending super fast. It honestly is a really good faction on tier 1. Tier 2 is great. You know, we have Gong Gong and we can move into it, but I'm not in that big of a rush. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to give Yue Lao Fury. He's going to buff up the Gong Gong as he's attacking. You know, attacking with Spellcast essentially means he is just buffing everybody instead of attacking. But by doing so, he's going to take a lot of hits and he's going to be dealing a lot of damage all the while, and Gong Gong is only getting bigger. So, you know, Hermes will buy us a little bit of time, he'll get larger, and then Gong Gong is going to go off if... I mean, I really doubt this early we're even going to see Gong Gong have a chance, but that's the plan so far. Yeah, we got lucky, so kind of as I suspected, this is going to be a pretty synergistic run at this point. That's interesting. I think we take the Erinle, put it on Hermes. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Another Yue Lao is not uncalled for, I think. We might actually do just fine. I'm not super sold on a second Hermes at this point, but giving... I want to give his fury to this Gong Gong. I think that's probably... because it's going to be getting an attack buff every single time these guys go off. So having him with Fury, I think, is going to pay off faster than having a second Yue Lao with it. And we are going to dodge that Hermes. I think we're starting to get to the point, especially we're going to have this option here for a blessing. We don't want to freeze this Hermes. That'll do. Okay, so unlike last time, I had the option for Glorious Camaraderie. This is absolutely a fantastic time to take it, because most of our gods are still in Tier 1. Inversion, swapping the attack and defense of the gods. I mean, like, yeah, it would potentially give him a little bit of longevity, but that is literally just not an issue at this point. I think we see Glorious Camaraderie. In this case, we take it. So, first things first, we're taking another Dionysus. And he is going to give target ally Fury as a 7/3. And at this point, I mean, as a 7/13, not 7/3, he could be pretty useful having Fury himself, but I think we're going to give to Yue Lao. We're going to take the second Gong Gong. You know, we have enough Fury. I think Apollo actually is the take here. Because Apollo giving that permanent buff to everybody means this can actually pay off pretty big, pretty early. A second Yue Lao, I think, is absolutely fine. And again, we're going to just sit that in front of Gong Gong. We want as many triggers before he gets his chance to go off. And yet again, since we're recruiting Tier 1s, it's going to just keep buffing all of these Tier 1s. And with Shitayu, I think we bring him out. Maybe we drop this one on Gong Gong, just to make sure that he's getting a little ahead of the curve in case there's anything with Cleave coming up. I think we're okay passing here. Yeah, we have plenty of time. I think we're good. Okay. I don't think we're going to miss with another Jatayu here. I think in this case, the Jatayu is going to get the most traction, buffing either this Yue Lao, this Gong Gong, potentially Apollo. I believe there's at least one horror minion that I know of that hits the back row, or the final god in your army. I think because we know we're going to keep Gong Gong for a while, we're going to give it to... We did give him the last one. I think Yue Lao. Yue Lao's a safe bet. We could take these for the +1/+1s to all 5 of our guys up here and 4 back here. It's not terrible. I think I'd prefer to upgrade the devotion at this point. Actually, I think we'll have enough, so let's do it this way. We're going to go ahead and buy both these guys. I'm a little tempted to keep him. Let's throw back the Takemizuchi and one Jatayu. Now we can upgrade the devotion tier. And we can start looking for tier 2s, and hopefully we'll find another Yue Lao. We can get him to an upgrade. Then we'll have 2 of these up front, and we'll probably look at getting rid of Hermes at that point. with the idea that these Yue Lao are going to be beefy enough that they can survive. Yeah, those Apollo buffs are really going off, which is great. I think a second Apollo is a bit of a no-brainer here. Dionysus is big. I think he's big enough. We're okay letting Hermes go. I'm going to move these up. Dionysus can go there. We'll take another Jatayu. This Jatayu probably best spent... Since I have the intention of actually upgrading these, I think it's okay to go ahead and give one to him, seeing as he is the one of these two with Fury. So let's go ahead and we buy this. We sell back. We could pull a Demeter. I think with two Apollos at the back, we skip on Demeter. Jonqui, probably not a bad idea. I think we maybe freeze these two, pull the Arinle now so that we get the upgrade. Then we'll get the free one. Survivor Soul's not terrible. Garuda's great. I mean, we have a lot of gods. That's a lot of value right off the rip. I think we'll do the Garuda. It's tempting to put a 24/24 just out on the field, but I think overall we're going to get more payoff giving him +6/+6 and letting him just continually spellcast. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. Okay, so we can start getting some tier 2 support with Nandi. We'll probably just buy and resell Nandi, and yeah, Jonqui will be first, and then we'll pick up that Nandi. Works. I absolutely do not want Exalted Martyrdom. Your gods get +10/+10 in combat, but die after attacking is kind of antithetical to how we're playing this round. Radiant Commendation selected, give target god +10/+10. Definitely one to consider. Rite of Investiture, god recruited, give it +1/+1 and improve this. I have found this to pay dividends over and over again. Pretty much with every single Pantheon that I have tried it with, it has worked with to some degree. It definitely paid off the most with the Hindu because they have the recruit synergy. Ooh, okay. So we have... I do like the Heibai Wuchang. I think it's a little late. And unfortunately, the -2 attack just doesn't scale that well when the final enemies are 30 plus, you know. We're already... we're probably gonna have this guy... make that -2 look like a joke, so let's not go that route. Alright, first off, Let's get one on deck. Still want to consider Glorious Camaraderie, and this might be a case where we just pick these two up and immediately sell them back. She's going to give us an extra Divine Essence, and that'll allow us to pick up Zhongqi, get a refresh, and maybe save some options for the next round. And since we saved him for last, when these merge, this one will, his stats will be used instead of his. Of course, if we get another Zhongqi in the shop like that, this one's going to be even bigger because of the right of investiture. So the good news is we do have the option of bringing him in. We could sell off some of our backline that is just doing nothing, which I think is absolutely fair. And we got Zhurong. Spellcast get +7/+7. That's good scaling. That's really, really good. I think we're going to pull one Yue Lao down, bring him up, let them give him the extra health. Eventually, I'd like to give him Fury. He would also do great with Fury. But for now, I think we're good to proceed. No, I think it's time for a little upgrade there. I don't think there's any shame in a Garuda here. Lakshmi, start of recruitment, gain 1 Divine Essence is good, but honestly, for 1 Divine Essence, missing out on giving +1/+1 to all the gods, kind of rough. End of recruitment, if he's in the bench, get +4/+4. Because we're not running Yoruba as our main army, him being on the bench and getting larger is not really going to combo with what the spellcasters are trying to ramp up to. So we're going to go with Garuda here. So we now have a new Yue Lao for the front line. I think we need to start rolling in earnest to get a Dionysus. That worked out pretty well. I think we're safe to sell back this Garuda. I'll admit I've been pretty tepid on throwing that Triad Dryad up to the line. Mainly because I don't want it to be something that this team is relying on long term, especially now we're over halfway through. That's probably a good indicator it's time to sell him too. Ultimately, what I'm looking for now is another Apollo that would give us room to drop Zhurong, and we could put him just in front of our Gongong. I don't think another Zhongqi is called for. I think the line is already pretty full with where we're at. I think the size of this Dionysus will keep him on the line for at least another 2 rounds. Okay, nothing to call home about there. We can roll again, sell our Dionysus. Okay, win some, you lose some. Shenong's not bad. Shenong's not bad at all. I think we do still sell this Dionysus. I don't think there's any point in taking more Yue Lao. I think Shenong's the play here. That'll give buffs to Gongong and both of our Apollos. Question is now, is he large enough that we can pull Dionysus down, put him up in front of Gongong, and I think without Fury, I'm not really that I'm not that compelled to lose a 25-27 off the line. So again, we're not freezing these. I'm not interested in another Yue Lao with 2 that are already upgraded. Not sure if the mic's picking that up, but that is my cat being very excited about a toy that he's bringing to his mother. That's not bad. It's not bad. I still like the way that this is looking so far. Okay, Curse is a little difficult to deal with. The Cleave, I actually feel pretty safe against with how much health everybody's getting. It should be right. I think we roll. I think that's another roll. Take another Shenong. No, that's a roll. There's our Apollo. Yamaya is actually pretty good considering how many tier 1s we're still rolling with. That's just... It's literally just gonna set off Glorious Camaraderie at the end of each recruitment, which seems fine. I guess the question now is, do we want Zhurong out or do we want Shenong? I think the reality is this is going to be probably... At worst, it'll be a 4-12 and then an 11-19. 11-19's not terrible. It can withstand a little more flack than Shenong, so I think we're going to go ahead and go with that. We'll put Zhurong in front of Gongong. Again, we want Gongong to receive the most because he gets his triggers off of others' spellcasting. I did want to point out that I have noticed that Fury and Spellcast don't necessarily interact the way that I think they do, or that I thought they do. So I think we should keep an eye on that. Looks like that didn't count as a recruitment. I didn't see the buff go off from Camaraderie. Okay. I mean, at the very worst, we're getting one extra body that might be able to upgrade off of what we see in the shop the next turn. And At worst, we're just getting an extra essence from selling it. We take Nandi, sell it. That is exactly what I was hoping for. That's a long time coming. I think we're going to take Lakshmi. I don't think this counts as a recruitment either. So that's an extra divine essence for next turn. Yeah. This is the case where they start dealing damage to that backup hollow. Thankfully, he's large enough it does not matter. And this is why we've been investing in that Gong Gong this whole time. Just hope it's enough sauce to get us there. Beautiful. That's a win. It's close. It's really close. Another camaraderie. This time exalted. So we're getting +3/+3 for each. I mean, we're still primarily 1s and 2s. I mean, these three, I do not care about their stats. At the end of the day, they are there to give us Divine Essence for more rolling. We are going to take the Shenong, so don't worry if if you've already seen it. We are going to sell off the Hermes to pick up another. 6 health across the board. That's 42 extra health. However, I think considering, let's say, best case scenario, we get all 1s an entire shop. We're buying 4 1s at that point, and each of these is getting +3/+3, so that's 12 each time. I should say that's 12/12, so you're getting 24 total stat points off of it per. And this was 42, so it'd only take getting 2 gods of the first tier for that to pay off far better. I think Exalted Camaraderie, plus I believe this stacks with Glorious Camaraderie, so we will go that route. And of course we're going to pull this too, so we're going to buff Gong Gong and Apollo. I'm not actually interested in any of these. Eros is probably the best possibility, but again, I'm not putting any hope in that. I think for now we pull him down, move him up. Since he is buffing the whole army, I think moving him up front, given his size, that's a safe move. Wasn't expecting it, but we might be at a point where Dionysus is going to be moved out to let Zhurong hit the line. I think we skip on Shenong. There's a part of me that thinks taking a Shenong and letting one of the Yue Lao out is okay. It's just going to take a while for those stats to catch up. Even with this, that's... You know what? Let's at least take it, and we can see where we get with it. Another roll. I think we're rolling again. Having played Super Auto Pets a lot, I have been in that situation before, where you're just rolling for inspiration, basically. I'm selling off this Eros, pulling Dionysus down, I think. Moving Gongong back and Zhurong up. We'll see how this pans out. We do have one shield. We can drop around, and it's not the end of the world. Yeah. I think that's okay. Let's roll one more time. That's brutal. That is brutal. They really do not want to give me Chinese gods right now. Well, it is what it is. We're going to get a one-cost upgrade next turn anyway, so... Alright. We just pulled Arjuna to sell. Oh, they have poison. Poison means that they instantly kill anything that that they deal damage to. I am not a fan of the Scorpigoth. I think those are absolutely awful to fight. That's a tie. But a tie is a win. Meets it beats. We will take a tie. I think we'll go ahead and take the upgrade now. And I mean, ideally we find Zhurong. That would be great. Well, since we can't find any Chinese gods, let's force it. We found Fuxi. Interesting. So the question is, what is the Mortivine going to hit? If the Mortivine hits this Shenong, I think in this case, I'm going to move Yue Lao up. And maybe even move this Shenong up. With the intention that Mortivine will take out one of these and give this Shenong a little longer to cook. I'm still looking for another Zhurong. At the end of the day, that's what we need. I mean, there's definitely a learning curve to this game. The fact that I have over 5 times their power and am still having a difficult time really goes to show how well they've built these synergies into these teams. The tuning is definitely impressive. Don't need it. I'm gonna ruminate on Fushi for 1 round. Okay, hear me out. We take Shenong here. We take Shenong here with the intention of unwinding these two. We're getting to the point where we literally have 1 round left to make this army as strong as it can be going into that Arachnomir fight. So I think we have to pull Shenong now. We roll. Gongong's not going to do it. Yeah, that's tough. It's a tough one, folks. I think Dionysus gets sold. We roll again. We're still not seeing it. Man. I think we go into the next round knowing there's a good chance this shield gets popped. I mean, let's hope not, but there you go. Having an answer for this Kranarak at the back, just getting massive. I mean, you would think the Gongong is the answer to that, but it's just not how it is. Man, that thing gets huge. Not big enough, granted. Oh my god, 203. You are kidding me, man. Alright, well, there goes the shield. As much as I wish Poseidon would work, he'd really only get buffed off of Gongong, since none of these are technically attacking. Alright, we sell off Triad. It's time to sell off Lakshmi and Yamaya. We roll. Really need Zhurong to get powered up. Otherwise, I think he needs to get pulled down and maybe Shenong goes out. Okay. We could take a Fushi with the chance that it might be able to upgrade. Oh, beautiful. Oh, man. I love Baize, but it's so... It feels like this needs to be like a tier 3. Which would be overpowered. I don't know. Maybe tier 4 makes sense, but it always shows up at a point in the game where it's a liability just because it's a 5-3. This only works on Yoruba. Spiritual power. I mean, we'll still take Baize, I suppose. I don't think that's a game changer. I do think this is potentially a game changer, giving everybody -6. That's probably good enough to bench Zhurong. And I did mean to mention, we did have this Shenong survive that poisonous enemy last round, and it didn't make a lick of difference, so... Yeah. This guy just doesn't exist, I'm telling you. Alright, we pull him out. I think moving him back... I think this is the right spot for him. Ideally, when this goes off, is going to be... So that Mortivine is going to kill our Yue Lao. Yue Lao should have a chance to spellcast since we're going first. Then he'll run in the Midorak. Shenong will spellcast, and the Midorak will go off. Then the Mortivine's going to attack with Poisonous here. So then as this Mortarak comes out, or Midorak comes out, it's going to go against him again. He'll probably die on this attack, which will trade. We'll get another Midorak attacking this Shenong. And I did skip these two activations. Ooh, I might have miscounted here. Fushi might need to go after Zhang Kui in here. Ideally, just to fully flesh out my thought here, I want Fushi to go off when these Midorak come out, because I do not want all of their stats going into Arachnomir. Unfortunately, the Scorpigoth I just don't have an answer for. I mean, if there was a way to remove their defense, sure, but that's just not the way this works. I mean, 719 attack is nothing to sneeze at. I'm pretty pleased with how well we scaled generally. But yeah, I think we just roll it. It's just, we have what we have. I mean, best case scenario, we sell these three off. Even if we rolled and found a Shenong, we wouldn't have enough without selling this Rinley. Which, to be honest, +6/+6 has probably overstayed its welcome now that I think about it. You know what, we're not using Baizet. Let's roll. Let's see. Okay, well, that's a flop. Yeah, it doesn't even make sense to pull down Jatayu. Or does it, actually? With this, it does. We're getting more than +6/+6 from a single Jatayu. Because that's going to give him +3/+3, him +3/+3, and then it's going to give +2/+2 to whoever I want to drop that on. Alternatively, give everybody +1/+1 and give +3/+3, potentially +4/+4. I actually did not check to see whether this was going off as well. So this would hit the two Shenong, Gongong, and Apollo. Let's say conservatively for 3/3. I mean, this is clearly our most impactful option here. Okay. I mean, yeah. All right. We roll that. Bring him in. At least it'll give the buffs to these two. He probably needs it the most. Or Zhang Kui does. I mean, we really are banking on getting big enough to make it to that final run-in with Arachnomir, who is going to be just massive. I don't know. Unfortunately, folks, I think this is a loss, but I think that this was a pretty good proof of concept, if nothing else. That's not what we wanted to see at all. They have 68 attack. That's wild. Alright. Well, anyway, I appreciate you watching. This has been Icebreaker Gaming. We are over on Twitch. You can find all of our socials down in the description. Please leave a comment if you have any feedback, if you have any tips. If I'm mispronouncing any of the names, please let me know, respectfully, if possible. And otherwise, have a great day.